He said he's not interested. Back off. I don't care how handsome you are. If you don't walk away, I'm calling the police.
You have no idea how lucky you have been tonight. Trust me, it won't always be like this.
Hey all you cool creatures, I'm Cryptid. Welcome to the Cryptid Plays YouTube channel. We are playing The Raven today, and here's the content warning. I will read it again in a bit here. But this is a visual novel where you are a dispassionate college student who, after a stressful week, becomes attracted to a stranger you meet at a Halloween party, only for this encounter to become deadly. Now, this was a submission to the Spooktober 2021 Visual Novel Jam. It also is, obviously, a horror visual novel. And if you missed those content warnings, they were actually quite nice and slow. But if you did miss them, then here are the content warnings again. The Raven is a 16+ horror visual novel. This game contains mature content, mild descriptions of gore, vermophobia, blood, and implicit sexual content. Player discretion is advised, and that also means that viewer discretion is advised. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be too bad, but I do try to censor or edit things if they do seem a bit much. But I do believe there's 5 endings, 4 normal or good endings and 1 bad ending. So with that out of the way, let's get started. Before we begin, who are you? Ooh, I want to be the kitty boy. All right. We are gonna go by Cryptid. Ooh, and we can choose our pronouns. Nice. It's always between he, him, and they, them. Yeah, let's go with they, them. Ooh. That's tough. Aw, frick it. I'm a sucker for the cravat and the vest. You are Cryptid, they, them. You will meet the male Raven. Hell yeah. Let's start game. Table 13. You nod. The waiter expertly lays down 10 glasses of margaritas on your table. Sydney, Edward, Chuck, and Julie don't wait for him to finish as they grab their drinks. You offer an apologetic smile at the guy, but he's already walking back to the bar. By the way, I do think that there is voice acting for the Raven in this, so that's kind of nice. Cryptid, what are you waiting for? Your roommate Sydney nudges your side, pointing at a glass of margarita on the table with her pinky finger. You don't have to tell me twice. I said that so unenthusiastically, oops. Are margaritas made with tequila? I'm not a big tequila fan, so. You raise your glass, signaling a toast. The others mimic your gesture. Here's to another wild night. Professor Caligari, you can screw off now. Laughter ensues as you all clink your glasses together. You drain it all in one go without any problem. Once the liquor has finally reached the pit of your stomach, you pump your fist in the air with a loud cheer. Okay, next. Hold your horses, Mr. Drinkathon. We're only getting started. I'd rather not drag your drunken ass back again like last time. You blow a kiss in his direction. Edward deftly avoids it by moving aside. He pretends to brush imaginary dust off of his tattered and bloody suit. Julie, in her glittery pink princess costume, tentatively sips her margarita next to him. How'd everyone's exam go? Pretty well, if I may say so myself. What did you put down for that last question? I wrote the first thing on my mind. That was so confusing to me. You have no idea. Wait, I wasn't the only one? It was like you randomly placed it there on purpose. Exactly! What the hell was it even there for? Caligari mentions it one time, glosses over it the rest of the semester, and has the gall to put it on the test? I feel your pain, Jules. Everybody focus. It's out of our hands now. The best we can do is drown our worries in sweet, benevolent alcohol. I will say that's bad advice. Don't do that. But, you know. As if to prove a point, you grab a second glass and douse all its contents down. Not everyone can be a genius like you, Cryptid. Ed's right. How do you find the time to study when you're barely in class? You smile cheekily, thinking of a response, but Sydney interrupts you. Enough! Let's enjoy the night and party the heck out of it. A collective cheer resounds in your booth, on par with the loud music of the nightclub. It's October 31st, Halloween night. It's that time of year again, where you can get away with dressing provocatively without any consequences. Except maybe for the good kinds of consequences. You can still remember Billy from last year. Good old Billy and the fireworks you saw in each other's arms. Of course, you haven't run empty this summer. As soon as senior year started, that you hadn't been able to indulge in your favorite kind of exercise as often. Not when Caligari has made sure to fill the rest of your semester with surprise pop quizzes and essays. You knew it was a serious matter when even Lynn from your advanced photography class put a stop to her weekly parties. Left with no other choice, you spent the past few months actually putting in effort for classes. Not the same kind of effort Chucky and Julie had to put in, but an effort nonetheless. When Julie finally empties her glass, Chuck drags her onto the dance floor. The three of you snicker, seeing Chuck sway his body in complete abandon, uncaring where his multicolored feather scarf reaches its tendrils into the crowd. Actually, I want you all to see this for a second. I want you to see the user interface. This is the menu. Look at this. They actually made it into like a drink menu. I love this. It's so cute. Anyways, I just want y'all to appreciate that. Julie, on the other hand, is left apologizing back and forth on Chuck's behalf as she shifts her balance from one foot to the other, her own interpretation of a dance. You scan the rest of the place until you find a pair of crimson eyes staring back at you from across the bar. You're just about to observe the stranger more closely when Sydney tugs your left arm. Cryptid, what are you looking at? Should I tell her or should I not? God, that's tough. Let's not. I feel like it's the wrong decision, so let's not tell her. Nothing. You give a quick once-over at the table. There are 6 empty glasses, mostly consumed by you. It's not your fault you can hold your liquor well. I'm going to the bar to order us more drinks. Edward and Sydney exchange a knowing glance. I cannot drink like this in real life, but you know, I guess good for this in-game person. You know, I'm gonna move my VTuber over slightly. There we go. I'll be back. Don't worry. You brush your hair aside, adjust your outfit, and walk to the bar with a confident stride. You can feel everyone's eyes on you. This, in turn, makes you smile even brighter. Tonight will be a good night. 5 margaritas for table 13. Pretty please. You lean over the counter with your signature sweet smile, which, as expected, immediately captures one of the bartender's interests. She's a pretty little thing, petite, with mossy brown hair. You make a mental note to ask for her number later. You exchange small talk with her, Melina, while carefully looking around the counter for your admirer with crimson eyes. It's an arduous task, and the continuous streamline of costume patrons isn't exactly helping. Dang, we're a flirt! Good for us! Crimson eyes, really? Could they even be more predictable? Then again, who are you to judge what with your basic costume? You should go for something outside the box next year. Would shopping a month earlier help? Yeah. There you are. You find your crimson-eyed stranger 2 seats away from you. Once an obstructing trio of musketeers walks away from the counter. That's so cute. People in 3 musketeers costumes. I appreciate that. Golly. I'm gonna aim for all the endings, but let's order 2 drinks. Let's be very forward. You call Melina over. 2 sex on the beach, 1 for me and 1 for that person over there. Thanks, Mel. You purposely purr the last words out. I did not. Mel laughs, clearly enjoying your attempt at seducing her. She looks over to where you are pointing at, then winks. You watch her place the cocktail in front of the stranger. Mel gestures in your direction. You smile seductively, and he nods back. You don't waste any time. As soon as the seat next to him clears, you position yourself on the stool. Good evening, Mr. Vampire. Are you out for blood tonight? Can I offer you mine? I promise I taste good. The stranger laughed softly, toying with the cocktail you offered. Your interest should be obvious enough by this point, right? Unless he doesn't return the same sentiment. There's no harm in taking a step back. Plenty of fishes in the sea and all that. Who are you even kidding? Of course you hope for him to get the hint. The stranger brushes aside his long silver hair. Either he dyed it only for tonight, or this really is how he keeps it. He looks good either way.
I appreciate the drink. Thank you.
Cryptid. You offer your hand for a shake and he takes it, squeezing your hand warmly. Instead of feeling his bare flesh, you are greeted by the sensation of leather. It's only then that you notice the black leather gloves. Curiouser and curiouser.
I'm Raven. Nice to meet you.
I saw you looking across the room. I thought I should come over and say hi.
Sorry. I hope I didn't make you uncomfortable.
Not at all. May I say you have a lovely Halloween costume, and your hair color, and those contact lenses too. Simply gorgeous. Raven's smile further widens at the compliment.
Oh, thank you. Yours is very,
Basic? You watch him trail his eyes on your body. You bite your lips, trying to contain a smile.
striking.
Oh, so cute. You shift closer next to him. Casually, you lean your forearms on the counter. You take it as a good sign when he mirrors your body language. So far, so good. Raven's finger traces the rim of his glass. You watch him do this for a couple of minutes, entranced by the gracefulness of the movement. It's almost hypnotizing. You take a sip of your own cocktail before asking, "Tell me, what's with the gloves? Are you germophobic or is it part of the getup?"
If I tell you, it would ruin my air of mystery. We wouldn't want that now, do we?
It's your turn to laugh. It's a genuine laugh, as opposed to the other ones which allow people to think they have impressed you. Or maybe it's the alcohol too? Does it matter?
Are you here by yourself?
You take a moment to find the right words. Technically, you are here, alone at the bar, talking with this lovely human specimen. However, you are on your own, albeit temporarily. Then again, do you really want to risk telling a complete stranger this? Against your better judgment, you shake your head. Nope, I'm all alone, cold and very, very much alone. Raven looks behind you, eyebrow raised. You think he might point out your circle of friends. Instead, he chuckles. There's a mysterious twinkle in his eyes.
If you say so.
He reaches over, brushing aside strands of your hair. Your face heats up despite yourself. This is new. You lick your lip, savoring the last cocktail on your tongue. You find him staring unabashedly. For the first time in a while, your throat feels dry. Your voice is barely a whisper when it finally does come out. Would you like to dance with me? Raven nods his head, smiling warmly at you. The distance between you and him is now gone. Your hands find their way down to his thigh, caressing him. Raven's hands rest atop yours, squeezing it. He leans in, lips partially brushing against your ear.
I thought you'd never ask.
The floor is filled to the brim with people in various costumes. Surely some of them are from your school. You think you recognized a couple of familiar faces on the way here with your friends. You hold on to Raven, guiding him through the very heart of the dance floor. Both of you didn't find much resistance. The crowd seemed to naturally open a path just for the two of you. His posture goes rigid. You can tell for all of his earlier bravado, he isn't used to being surrounded by such a large crowd. You turn his head to look at you, then wrap your arms around his shoulder and whisper into his ear. Relax, Raven. No one's going to hurt you. Raven chuckles, enclosing you in an embrace.
If only you knew.
You place your index finger on his lips, tracing the soft counter of Raven's mouth. He flinches, letting go of you. You look at him quizzically, taking a step back. If you changed your mind, we can...
It's fine. I'm fine.
Oh dear. Raven tentatively reaches out for your arms, placing the back on his shoulders. Raven's hands make their way around your waist, pulling you closer to his body. By the way, I'm purposely making all the bad decisions I can. I don't necessarily know if just dancing with him is a bad decision, but I'm gonna go along with it. You go along with it, attributing that reaction to him being flustered. It makes you want to push his buttons to see more of them. Well, you'll certainly have this chance tonight, if there is a chance. Your body moves along with the music, your arms raised in the air as you jump and sway along with the crowd. You feel liberated, free. You don't think of anything else, allowing your body to express itself. From the corner of your eyes, you see Raven moving gracefully to the sound. He's a good dancer. Much better than you, actually. You laugh. Of course he's better than you. What else could you expect from this mysterious dweller of the night? For someone hesitant to belong to the crowd of mangled bodies, Raven fits like a perfect piece of a puzzle, as if he was born into this world to be with you in this exact same moment. Raven's silver hair flows translucently, reflecting the neon colors of your surroundings. The two of you move your bodies to the beat of the music as if there's no tomorrow, only now. Slowly, inch by inch, you gravitate towards one another. The bass thrums everywhere. You can almost feel it reverberate under Raven's skin. You have never felt more alive, yet so attuned to another person. The way ecstasy fogs your mind and heart, you can't take your eyes off Raven. Euphoria. This has to be it. Raven leans in towards you, his voice somehow clear over the noise.
As much fun as this is, did you want to talk outside?
A shiver runs down your spine, both foreboding and enticing. You know that a talk is just pretense for something more tantalizing. You can almost taste it on your tongue. You look back once towards your friends. It would make sense to let them know you were about to step out with Raven, or were you? The choice is in your hands. Looking back towards Raven, a smile graced your lips when you met with his gaze. There was attraction, want, and the promise of so much more, just ripe for the picking. Let's make probably the bad decision. Take Raven's hand. Honestly, always tell your friends if you do something like this. Just saying. Come on, handsome, let's talk outside. Your words are heavy with suggestion as you grasp Raven's hand and pull him towards the back exit. A part of you wonders if you should have told your friends, but that would definitely ruin the moment. Raven merely smiles back, and even that simple gesture sends a shiver of anticipation down your spine. You picked well tonight. You can feel it. Moments and moments blur as you take Raven's hand and slip through the back door. There's no substantial light in the alleyway, neon lights bouncing off any glimpse of a reflective surface. In a flash, you feel the hard brick surface press against your back as Raven roughly guides you up against it. You can't help but grin, an imperceptible groan escaping your lips when you feel his body press up against your own. Is he a real vampire? Is that what this is gonna be? The coolness of the night breeze is different from the crowded, hot club. Over here, you can feel Raven so much more intimately, passionately. You pull him closer, letting your hands slide down from his cheeks to his shoulders. The kiss is simple, and somehow everything all at once. Raven's lips are insistent against your own, and you waste no time in nipping his bottom lip only to soothe the sting with your own tongue.
Consider this a thank you gift. Your mind is about to be blown away.
In the good way or the bad way? Raven pulls back and you look at him through a hazy, lidded gaze. He's handsome, of that you have no doubt. Even through your lust-filled haze, Raven's ethereal beauty shines. You don't have much more time to think about that when kisses start trailing down your jaw, then your neck. The brick wall behind your back digs in, but you cannot bring yourself to care.
Tell me, do you want it as much as I do?
Let's say yes. Yes. Raven doesn't wait for you to finish your sentence. Your lips clash like wild beasts in heat. Hands clutching at any surface possible. You close your eyes, savoring every moment. Then a thought strikes you. You gently push against his chest, asking for space. Raven is astonished. Perhaps he thinks you want to stop, but you reassure him that is not the case by letting the hand on Raven's chest slip under his collar. You have protection, right? Raven smiles, producing a condom in his hands. His lips start leaving kisses along your jawline, before you can feel his nose trail along the same area when his lips sink towards the juncture of your neck. What follows is a myriad of sensations between Raven and you. You allow yourself to give in to him and enjoy this momentary ecstasy, soaking in every hot touch, every heated kiss, every fervid sound. Yep, he's a vampire! The next moment is a blur, but the feeling of your skin being pierced brings with it a pain you've never felt before. You gasp, wanting to look towards your shoulder, but Raven's ironclad grip on you prevents you from doing so. Blood, or what you assume it is, oozes down your shoulder, warm and slow. The pain is indescribable, leaving you almost paralyzed in its intensity. You can feel a sensation like wriggling tearing into your flesh, a shiver beneath your skin. It is revolting, and nausea comes with the searing pain accompanying Raven's bite. Someone, anyone, help, please! You want to scream, but any sound you want to make dies in your throat. This alleyway is secluded, perfect for a tryst with a lover and death, it seems. You decide to... let's succumb? You're all alone. The realization is crushing. You have to be your own knight in shining armor. It's futile to push back against Raven. He is far stronger than you, and the pain pulsating from your shoulder weakens your own strength. Your footing slips, clattering against the glass bottles littered on the floor. An idea strikes you. but it seems improbable. What use is there to fight back? Your own life flashes before you. You can't help but wonder if yours was a life worth living. The countless parties, the transactional trysts, and the multiple people you call friends. All you ever wanted was to make the most of your life. Was it enough in the end? Raven doesn't stop. He is like a hungry beast, desperate to satiate himself to the brim with your blood and flesh. You can feel the small lumps entering deeper in through your veins, wriggling, slipping wildly inside your body. Pain. There is so much pain. Yet, pain gradually turns to pleasure, making you see fireworks and blood like you've never experienced before. Raven's right. Your mind is blown away. You can't help but moan at the mixture of sensations. Wow, that's an evil laugh. You hear Raven laugh at your reaction. Then your desecrated body drops to the ground. The last thing you see before darkness envelops you all together is Raven putting his gloves back on, walking away, and never looking back. The air is particularly freezing tonight, and yet the cold doesn't stop you from flicking the fire to the cigarette in your lips. It creates a momentary source of light amidst the darkness of the decrepit gas station. There are habits that never die. You take a long, deep drag, then lean against the cold concrete wall. How long do you still have to wait? Although a year has passed, waiting has yet to become a tolerable aspect to your new lifestyle. You much prefer the thrill of the hunt. It's not wrong to say you pretty much mastered it. Then again, isn't it what you've always done in the past? You languidly observe the fumes coming outside your nostrils, following its intricate swiveling path to the dark sky. It's then that you hear his footsteps. You throw away the cigarette, extinguishing the smoke with your boot. With a playful force, Raven wraps his arms around you. You find yourself face to face with your partner in crime. Yes, that word is appropriate, all right. Finally, I've been waiting for you. Your voice is purposefully low and filled with want. By now, you've come to understand how he gets after feasting. Raven doesn't say anything, wordlessly kissing you passionately. There is no respite between your lips. Your moans echo in the night. When he lets you go, blood trickles down your lips. Whether it's yours or someone else's doesn't bother you anymore.
Come. There's work to be done.
With your hand in his, into the darkness you walk, wearing a playful smile on your face. Indeed, there will be so much work and so much meat. Congratulations! You've unlocked the developer's notes. So I want to see what happens when we try to attack him, if it changes that ending at all. You're all alone. The realization is crushing. You have to be your own knight in shining armor. It's futile to push back against Raven. He is far stronger than you, and the pain pulsating from your shoulder weakens your own strength. Your footing slips, clattering against the glass bottles littered on the floor. An idea strikes you, but it seems improbable. Still, any option is better than what you have right now. Mustering all the fading strength you can find, you kick Raven's shin. It catches him off guard, and he stumbles back. It's no longer than a few seconds, but you crouch down, grabbing a broken piece of bottle. Without any hesitation, you grab Raven by the shoulder and guide the sharp end into his abdomen. You do it again, and again. You scream your heart out. Blood. There's so much blood all over your hands. Your body. You can't tell if it's yours or Raven's, but it doesn't matter. Your attacker slumps to the ground. Your own footing gives way, and you're scrambling against the wall to try and stay upright. It's getting harder to breathe. Your lungs feel like they're burning. But you can't stop here. You simply cannot. Every muscle in your body screams in protest, and you find yourself slipping. On water or blood, it's hard to tell, as you try to make your way back to the club. You throw open the door, looking around for your friends, but they are nowhere to be seen. Ed? Sydney? Chuck? Your vision begins to blur. Is it because of the loss of blood? Your head feels light. Putting one step in front of the other is so difficult. Whoa, check out that costume. It's so gory. That blood is so realistic. Whoa! It's not a costume, it's real, is what you want to tell the people passing by. But even forming words is difficult. You can barely remain conscious, let alone communicate with those around you. But you are, at least, safe. Safety is nothing but an illusion, though. Who would know better than you? It is hard to believe that almost a year has passed since that incident. But here you are, back once again. Same place, same party. It is almost as if nothing has changed. That would be a mistake to assume, however. You find yourself looking around the room, hoping for something or someone to catch your attention. A drink is placed in front of you. Surprised, you look from the cocktail to the person who placed it in front of you. He's young, you note. Maybe you unnerve him a little, but you admire his courage nonetheless. Good evening. How kind of you. Whom should I be thanking? Jesse, and you? I'm Cryptid. Nice to meet you. I saw you looking across the room. I thought I should come over and say hi. You can't help but laugh at this. Maybe your eyes met once or twice. Either way, he's far too trusting. Are we still a vampire? I didn't make you uncomfortable, did I? Oh, no way. Well, I hope I'm not coming off as too forward. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, Jesse. Your words end in a purr, an encouragement to Jesse. Leaning closer to him, you place your hand on his own. You feel a slight tremble in his hand. Human touch is repulsive, to be honest, and has been since that night. You swallow, willing to steel yourself as you smile at Jesse. Are you here by yourself? I'm hoping to not leave alone, if you get what I mean. This eases the sickening feeling at the bottom of your stomach. Jesse is alone, and while this does not mean that he won't be missed, it eases the guilt a little. Because guilt is what you feel most when you kill someone. Guilt mixed with regret and remorse. And most importantly, numbness. It's the only time when your brain isn't trying to replay what happened with Raven that night, when it doesn't feel like you are once again covered in too much blood. Much, much too much. Yet, it is strange that only being covered in blood brings about the calmness you always seem to be searching for. Like you are at peace. Once again. Well, that and the meat, of course. You still need time, but you've come to terms with your new lifestyle. Want to hit the dance floor? Smiling, you drain the last of your drink as you stand up. Taking Jesse's hand in yours, you give it a gentle tug. I have a better idea. Jesse is all too willing, and it somewhat amuses you. More willing than the last two who met the Wrens, at least. They, the little critters Raven had so kindly left behind for you, seemed to approve of him. Enough to start wriggling excitedly within your veins. No need to rush things. Your hunger will be satisfied soon. Okay, so I'm going to assume that this is vampirism caused by a parasite. Fascinating. Maybe, in a different time and a different place, you would have wanted to get to know him better. But that is not a luxury either of you can afford tonight. Come on, handsome. Let's talk outside. Alright, now I'm gonna come back here and tell her I think someone is looking at me. When do they not? Oh, which one of them is it? What are they dressed as? They have two big horns, a fake tail, and a horribly trimmed... They have two big horns, a fake tail, and a horribly trimmed mustache. Where? Sydney moves closer, squishing you in your seat as she tries to locate the stranger. Her silicone-padded shoulders are not helping the slightest bit. You had told her dressing up as an alien was a bad idea. But when did she ever listen to your fashion advice? I think it's cute. Sydney, I was joking. Calm down. I don't know how they look. I haven't even taken a good look, all right? It's too dark to see. Oh, what are you waiting for? And I'm out of here. He gets up, raising both hands, leaving his drink unfinished, and joins Chuck and Julie on the dance floor, moonwalking all the way. You flinch, feeling a pinch on your side. Ow, Sydney. I think I know who it is. Don't look back. Listen, the next round of drinks is on you, and only then can you talk to your Cape stranger. Get it? You roll your eyes, but go along with it all the same. They have a cape. That's a start. Have fun, Casanova. You brush your hair aside, adjust your outfit, and walk to the bar with a confident stride. You can feel everyone's eyes on you. This, in turn, makes you smile even brighter. Tonight will be a good night. Maybe. 5 margaritas for table 13, pretty please. I will skip through this up until it changes. Okay, so I ordered 2 drinks last time. Let's just walk over. You don't waste any time. As soon as the seat next to him clears, you position yourself on the stool. Good evening, Mr. Vampire. Are you out for blood tonight? Can I offer mine? I promise I taste good. The stranger laughs softly, brushing aside his long silver hair. Either he dyed it only for tonight, or this really is how he keeps it. They look good either way. He is about your same eye level upon closer inspection. Could he be a model? They sure look like one.
That's a refreshing offer. Thank you.
Cryptid. You offer your hand for a shake and he takes it, squeezing your hand warmly. Instead of feeling his bare flesh, you are greeted by the sensation of leather. It is only then that you notice the black leather gloves. Curiouser and curiouser.
I'm Raven. Nice to meet you. Are you here by yourself?
You take a moment to find the right words. Technically, you are here, alone, at the bar, talking with this lovely human specimen. However, you are on your own, albeit temporarily. Then again, do you really want to risk telling a complete stranger this? Your common sense gets the better of you, plus it's better to be safe than sorry. There's nothing wrong with having a safety net. In this case, said safety net is your group of friends. I'm with friends, you?
Waiting for the right company. I thought it was obvious.
He grazes his knuckle against your forearm. A tingling sensation stirs within your body, which has grown hot in the meantime. You lick your lip, savoring the last cocktail on your tongue. You find him staring unabashedly. For the first time in a while, your throat feels dry. Your voice is barely a whisper when it finally does come out. Would you like to dance with me? Alright, so with dancing with him, we are now gonna take a step back. As much as you would love to push his buttons to see more of Raven's reaction, you decide to respect his wishes. So you casually take a step back, immersing yourself in the rhythm of the music, making sure Raven's eyes never leave yours. He appears to be confused at first, but regains his composure immediately. Your body moves along with the music, your arms raised in the air as you jump and sway along with the crowd. You feel liberated, free. You don't think of anything else, allowing your body to express itself. From the corner of your eyes, you see Raven moving gracefully to the sound. He's a good dancer, much better than you, actually. You laugh. Of course he's better than you. What else could you expect from this mysterious dweller of the night? Slowly, inch by inch, you gravitate towards one another. The bass thrums everywhere, and you can almost feel it reverberate under Raven's skin. You have never felt more alive, yet so attuned to another person. Raven leans in towards you, his voice somehow clear over the noise.
As much fun as this is, did you want to talk outside?
A shiver runs down your spine, both foreboding and enticing. You know that a talk is just a pretense for something more tantalizing. You can almost taste it on your tongue. You look back once towards your friends. It would make sense to let them know you were about to step out with Raven. Or were you? The choice is in your hands. Looking back towards Raven, a smile graced your lips when you met with his gaze. There was attraction, want, and the promise of so much more, just ripe for the picking. Hey. I'm gonna go back to my friends. With a chuckle, you gently push Raven away from yourself. He seems surprised, which makes your own grin broader. Back so soon? You catch your friends packing their things just in time. I wasn't about to spend the night without my favorite people. Oh my, what an honor you have bestowed upon us puny mortals. Chuck is supporting Julie, one arm around her waist. She wobbles, barely keeping her weight. You raise your eyebrow. What happened to... You feel a strong grip on your upper left arm. You turn around, finding yourself face to face with Raven. He's baring his teeth, glaring at you. Hey, let go, you're hurting me.
You can't walk away from me. Do you have any idea how hard it is?
Edward doesn't let Raven continue. He yanks you away from his vicious grip and then places himself between you and your assailant. He said he's not interested. Back off. I don't care how handsome you are. If you don't walk away, I'm calling the police.
You have no idea how lucky you have been tonight. Trust me, it won't always be like this.
Feeling outnumbered, Raven backs away, nostrils fuming. Your group of friends quickly scramble from the club as fast as possible, never looking back. The day after, as you're shopping with Chuck in the bustling streets of Upper Heights, news of a murder committed a couple of blocks away from the same nightclub spreads like wildfire, not only on the local news, but on social media as well. A shiver runs down your spine when you finally see the victim's face. They look exactly like you. Okay, so what if I let him know I'm not alone, but I still go with him? I'm gonna try that. And then we'll see what happens. Looking back towards Raven, a smile graced your lips when you met with his gaze. There was attraction, want, and the promise of so much more, just ripe for the picking. Let's take his hand. Come on, handsome, let's talk outside. Your words are heavy with suggestion as you grasp Raven's hand and pull him towards the back exit. A part of you wonders if you should have told your friends, but that would definitely ruin the moment. Raven merely smiles back, and even that simple gesture sends a shiver of anticipation down your spine. You picked well tonight. You can feel it. In a flash, you feel the hard brick surface press against your back as Raven roughly guides you up against it. You can't help but grin, an imperceptible groan escaping your lips when you feel his body press against your own.
Your mind is about to be blown away.
Raven pulls back and you look at him through a hazy, lidded gaze. He's handsome, of that you have no doubt. Even through your lust-fueled haze, Raven's ethereal beauty shines. You don't have much more time to think about that when his kisses start trailing down your jaw, then your neck. The brick wall behind your back digs in, but you cannot bring yourself to care.
Tell me, do you want it as much as I do?
A kiss is enough.
As you wish.
Bliss erupts whenever Raven's lips touch you. Neck, collarbone, shoulder. You're at Raven's mercy. That is all. So much so that you do not even realize when his canines slowly graze against the juncture of your neck. Don't tease me like this, Raven. Your plea is met with a pleasant laugh as Raven's other arm glides across your waist, pulling you closer. The fangs feel so realistic, you cannot help but notice. Fantastic! The next moment is a blur, but the feeling of your skin being pierced brings with it a pain you've never felt before. You gasp, wanting to look towards your shoulder, but Raven's ironclad grip on you prevents you from doing so. Blood, or what you assume it is, oozes down your shoulder, warm and slow. The pain is indescribable, leaving you almost paralyzed in its intensity. Someone, anyone, help, please. Let's succumb again? You're all alone. The realization is crushing. You have to be your own knight in shining armor. It is futile to push back against Raven. He is far stronger than you, and the pain pulsating from your shoulder weakens your own strength. Your footing slips, clattering against glass bottles littered on the floor. An idea strikes you, but it seems improbable. What use is there to fight back? Your own life flashes before you. You can't help but wonder if yours was a life worth living. The countless parties, the transactional trysts, and the multiple people you call friends. All you ever wanted was to make the most of your life. Was it enough in the end? Okay, this did change the ending. It's been years, but the memory of that night still haunts you. You put a protective arm around yourself. Only now do you notice your body trembling. The woman, Raquel, places a comforting hand around your shoulder, but you move away from her touch. The detective quietly observes in the sideline. Since that night, I have been living with the constant thought that one day Raven will find me to finish what he couldn't. So no, I have no intention of trying to get revenge. You look Raquel deep into her eyes. With a grave finality in your voice, you tell her, "Do you know what I think you should do? You need to stop trying to dig into Raven's identity if you want to live. I'm sorry for your loss. I really am. But no good will come from uncovering things beyond human comprehension. You should leave now." But You unceremoniously drive the woman and the detective through your front door, effectively closing it to their faces. After double-checking the locks, you finally heave a deep sigh. Yet the pain in your stomach doesn't stop. You've lived with it long enough to recognize the symptoms. The desperate hunger. You allow yourself to cry and pray they don't find you. Regrettably, days after your visitors stop by, your worst nightmare comes to life. The loud banging on your door wakes you up in the middle of the night. They're here, and they're out for blood. I hope it wasn't too loud while they were breaking in. Is something gonna happen? Okay. I don't know what happened. So I think ending 4 is just that. Alright, so I decided a kiss was enough and I'm going to try and attack Raven. Let's see if that changes this. Your footing slips, clattering against glass bottles littered on the floor. An idea strikes you, but it seems improbable. Still, any option is better than what you have right now. Mustering all the fading strength you can find, you kick Raven's shin. It catches him off guard, and he stumbles back. It's no longer than a few seconds, but you crouch down, grabbing a broken piece of bottle. Blood. There's so much blood all over your hands, your body. You can't tell if it's yours or Raven's, but that doesn't matter. Your attacker slumps to the ground. Your own footing gives way, and you're scrambling against the wall to try and stay upright. It's getting harder to breathe. Your lungs feel like they're burning. But you can't stop here. You simply cannot. Every muscle in your body screams in protest, and you find yourself slipping. On water or blood, it's hard to tell, as you try and make your way back to the club. The moment you enter back through the door, you try and look for your friends. Ed, Sydney, Chuck. The nightclub is as loud as ever, but somehow your friends do hear you. You aren't entirely sure who comes to you first, or whose arms you lose consciousness in, but you are extremely relieved. You are safe. Safety is nothing but an illusion, though. Who would know better than you? It's hard to believe that almost a year has passed since that incident, but here you are, back once again. Same place, same party. It is almost as if nothing has changed. That would be a mistake to assume, however. You find yourself looking around the room, hoping for something or someone to catch your attention. See, the development notes. Thank you for taking the time to play the Raven. We hope you had as much fun as we had in creating this project. You can find more about the team behind the project here. Make sure to give them a follow. I'm extremely grateful to have been given the chance to collaborate with each and every one of these talented individuals. Until next time, signed Silver Hatsuyuki. Fair enough. That was the Raven. I do believe I must have misread the amount of endings on the game page, because it had been written as 4 endings and then the little plus symbol, 1 bad ending, but I do think it was meant as 4 endings and there is 1 bad ending. But besides my own misunderstanding, I really enjoyed the game. The premise itself was a lot of fun, and I sort of liked our lackadaisical main character. They were definitely a partier, which I had hardly ever been when I went to college, but I appreciated that they knew what they wanted, which did get them into a spot of trouble, but that made it a hell of a lot of fun. In fact, I found this twist on vampirism to be positively delightful. It's both interesting that it was a parasite that turned them into blood drinkers, although arguably even in supernatural vampire stories, you could sort of consider it a parasite or a disease. And it was even more interesting that even though they desired human blood and flesh possibly, they disliked the feeling of touching humans' flesh. I thought that was a neat little detail to add because it really added to the little bit of world building that existed in the game. I just thought it was really cool. And even though the story was fairly simple as far as the premise of meeting a hot person in a club who turned out to be some sort of dangerous creature went, it was a captivating story. The characters were fun, including our main character's friends who we got to interact with a little bit. And Raven was definitely an entrancing sort of character. It honestly makes sense that our main character was so drawn to the Raven. But at the same time, Raven was definitely somewhat off-putting, even when our character first talked to them, in spite of how charming Raven could also be. Which, you know, I suppose that's how a vampire kinda should be. But I actually loved how on the nose Raven's costume was too. Like, Raven was literally hiding in plain sight. And at a Halloween party, anyone would be none the wiser about it. Plus, maybe I have a bit of a thing for vampires, just a little bit. So, you know, I dig the costume. But, you know, I did really enjoy how Raven played it all up. That was a lot of fun, honestly. Out of all the endings, I definitely found the one where the main character joined Raven as a vampire duo to be the best one. But I was also pleasantly surprised that the main character didn't actually die in any of the endings. Save maybe for the one where they were found a few years later. Although, arguably none of the endings are really good. Unless one wants to be a vampire, then maybe they are good. I don't know. Beyond the story, the art style was really cool. I loved the contrast of the neon colors over the darker character portraits. It really made them pop and 100% gave it a club sort of vibe. The backgrounds were gorgeous too. And along with the music, they really set the mood of each scene. From a bustling club to a dingy alley or a lonely apartment, every setting really had just a set tone about it that added greatly to what we were supposed to be feeling at that point. I also very much enjoyed the voice acting. I'll have to go and listen to the She/Her Raven, but I have a feeling that her voice will be just as lovely as the He/Him Raven's voice was. Overall, this was a really fun little visual novel. It was short, as most visual novel and game jam games are, but it did still feel very fleshed out. The team who worked on it did a lovely job, and I'll for sure have to check out some of the other visual novels that the developer worked on. It looks like on their game page, at least their main interactive fiction and visual novels take place in the same world. So that's cool, at least from what I gather by reading the description. But either way, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did like it, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more of me but you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe. I upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, and sometimes shorts and extras randomly throughout the week. I also stream on Twitch on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Fridays are usually twice a month, but they have been known to be more and sometimes less. But I hope to see you all next time. Bye!